Hey friends, I'm Amy, and it's time for our next copycat. So today we're heading to Panda Express for some firecracker chicken. As usual, Panda Express offers this and its sister dish, the steak and shrimp, as temporary menu items, so you can only get them when Panda feels like making them, which is really sad because they're delicious. So we're gonna make some firecracker chicken at home, and then we can make both of them at home whenever we want to. So let's get cooking. But first, yes, this pile of ingredients is daunting. I was like, okay, when I was putting this together. But when we break them apart into each step, it ends up coming together really easily, and this big lineup of stuff is much more manageable. But I will also say up front, it's important with this one to prep the ingredients ahead of time, because the actual cooking goes quick. So now let's get cooking. And where do we start? You know it, we gotta start with the Choppy Prep. So first we need a red and a yellow bell pepper, one of each. Both of these need to be either sliced or diced up. Remove the seeds and those pale veins from both, and then cut them into reasonably decent sized chunks. You don't want them to be tiny because they'll cook too quickly and become mushy. I went with maybe a ½ inch or so I would say stick with that for the slices too, so they keep their form and their texture. Put all the diced or sliced peppers in a container and then set those to the side. Next, we need a half of a medium-sized white onion, and we do want this one to be sliced. Again, with the slices about a ½ inch thick. When the onion's sliced, put that one into a container as well. I just plopped it in with the peppers since they're gonna go in the pan at the same time anyway. Set them to the side, and on to the next. We need 3 to 4 cloves of minced garlic, which will be about 4 teaspoons. We also need about 1 teaspoon of minced or grated ginger. So if you're using fresh ginger, I would recommend mincing or grating that up now as well. I keep some grated ginger in my freezer just for stuff like this, so I'll be using some that I had pre-prepared. Last bit of Choppy Prep, our chicken. We need about 2 pounds of chicken, which will be 2 huge chicken breasts or 3 to 4 small ones. Trim anything you don't want off the chicken and then dice these up as well. This time though, we want this diced into 1-inch pieces so they're larger than the veggies. When all that chicken is diced up, place the pieces on a plate lined with paper towels and dry the chicken. Then set all that chicken to the side for a moment too. Okay, sauce time. Now we don't actually need the sauce until the very end, but it's important to have this ready since we really won't have time later. Start with a ½ cup of water and add in 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of Shaoxing wine, and the closest substitute would be cooking sherry if you can't get a hold of this one. Add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, a ¼ teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and a tablespoon of cornstarch. Whisk this up really well so the cornstarch melts into the liquids, and then set this to the side for later. Okay, almost done with prep. Last, we need to bread our chicken chunks. For the dry dredge, we need 1 cup of all-purpose flour. For the wet dredge, we want 2 very large eggs, or 3 eggs if you have smaller ones. Whisk up the eggs, and that's the dredges. You can also add some salt and pepper to the flour if you want. It's not required, but it will add some more depth of flavor. For the breading, start by rolling some pieces around in the flour until they're fully coated. Then move them over to the egg side, roll them around in there, and make sure to get all the flour coated with the egg. Then back to the flour and roll those things around again until they're fully coated in flour. Place the breaded chicken pieces on a plate, and then bread away until all the chicken pieces are fully coated. Phew, and that is our prep. Alright, cooking time. So to cook this, if you have a wok, definitely use that. But I don't have a wok, so I'm using a large non-stick skillet. Add a ½ cup of neutral oil like canola, vegetable, avocado oil to the pan, and heat it up over medium-high heat. When the oil is hot and shimmery, start adding the chicken, but we want to do this in batches to avoid overcrowding the pan. If a pan is overcrowded, there will be too much steam hanging around as the chicken releases its internal moisture, and the temperature of the pan can go too low. Then instead of frying and getting crispy, our chicken will end up steaming instead, which is going to make for some weird and mushy breaded chicken chunks. Cook the chicken until it's crispy and browned on both sides. Remove the chicken to a plate and then keep on going until all the chicken pieces are browned and crispy. Now the chicken pieces will not be fully cooked at this point, but they'll be close, around 150 to 155 degrees or so. Set the crispy chicken to the side, and then we're going to pop right back to the pan. First, we need to remove this oil, but it's really hot. The easiest way for that is to use some tongs and roll some paper towels around to soak up the remaining oil and remove any little crumbs of breading. Then pop the pan back on the burner and turn the heat to medium. Heat up 2 tablespoons of sesame oil, which will happen really fast. Dump in the bell peppers and onions we cut up earlier, as well as 5 to 6 dried red chilies, and I'm using 6 dried Thai chilies from my garden. Saute all of this for 5 to 6 minutes or until they're softened and the onions are just starting to take on a little color. Make sure to stir this pretty often to keep those dried chilies moving around, since dried chilies can burn very easily. Now add in a tablespoon of black beans and the minced garlic and ginger and stir this continuously for about 30 to 40 seconds until the garlic is fragrant. Now here's the thing, Firecracker Chicken actually uses fermented black beans, but I was not able to get those sadly, so I'm making do with just some canned beans. But if you can get fermented black beans, definitely use that instead of the canned ones. Okay, so when the garlic gets fragrant, add all the chicken back into the pan, as well as a 1/4 cup of Thai sweet chili sauce. Stir this up and fold everything together until the chicken and veggies are all coated in the sauce, and then let all that cook together for about 2 to 3 minutes and stir it a couple of times. Last, pour in the sauce we mixed up earlier, and then stir this around as well until everything is coated in that sauce. Then let this cook again for about 3 to 4 minutes, stirring it occasionally until the sauce thickens into almost like a sticky glaze and the chicken reaches 165 degrees. Then pull the pan off the heat and our firecracker chicken is done. Wow, this looks and smells so good. It smells like I just stepped into Panda Express, or when you first open that takeout bag and you get that little steam facial that just smells so good. Yeah, this looks and smells amazing. You can eat this all by its lonesome, but I love it over rice. Top it with some sliced green onions, sprinkle on some sesame seeds, grab some chopsticks or a fork, and see if you're strong enough to stop after one bowl. And if you can, you're stronger than I am. This pan is technically 4 servings, but it's really hard to stay out of this long enough to have leftovers. This particular Copycat is a little sweeter than the Panda Express Firecracker Chicken, which has a deeper umami flavor because of those fermented black beans. But even so, I just can't get enough of it. It's savory and sweet, but also garlicky and salty with that little red pepper kick. It's the perfect balance of all the good flavors rolled into one, and I love it so much. Quick tip though, to make this into the steak and shrimp version instead of the chicken, use unbreaded steak and shrimp instead, add some green beans to the veggie mix, and that's it. Now for the money talk, and as usual, I have the cost breakdown in the description. So Panda Express charges $10.60 for Firecracker Chicken with a side of white or fried rice, and the portion size is pretty similar to the portions for this Copycat as well. Including 4 cups of cooked white rice, I spent $10.24 on the ingredients to make this. So we just got ourselves a buy one, get 3 meals free deal, because, you know, BOGO is just not good enough. I mean, 4 for the price of 1 is just lovely. Plus, we did not have to drive anywhere or pay near double for everything using DoorDash, and I'll take that deal any day. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like and subscribe, leave me a comment. It's completely free for you, but it helps my channel out a lot. I did want to say right here, my channel now has over 350 subscribers, and I just wanted to say 1,000 thank yous to every single one of you. I am so grateful for your support. I really hope you keep coming back so we can keep making amazing food together. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Come and hang out with me on Sundays too for cozy home-cooked meals and treats. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you back here next Wednesday for some more better at home copycat cooking. Bye.